Hey guys, welcome back from the review. It's me, Winchwood. Today we are starting on case 47, one wedding and a funeral. So yeah guys, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started on this case. Hey Will, are you ready? We need to leave if we don't want to be late to Lola Velez's wedding. I'm so happy she invited us to her wedding. It's been all over the news for weeks. There will be an acrobatic show and we're going to meet so many celebrities. Oh. But listen to me babbling on. Come on, we better hurry. Lola's wedding's about to start. Since when did you get invited? Isn't it great? The greatest party ever, Will? I'm so excited. Oh, I can't believe it, Major Will. I will shortly be married, and then I'll hop on a private jet with Walter and fly off on our honeymoon. Ah, Lola, you and Walter deserve all the happiness in the world, and thank you again for inviting us to the wedding of the century. It's a little bit too glitzy for my taste, but I suppose the champagne is adequate. Still, it's not every day we get to witness Walter's death-defying stunts, Mrs. Johnson. Isn't that right, Major Will? And look, here he comes now. Oh. Yeah, he did. Oh my goodness, what the heck happened, Will? The stunt plane, it crashed right over there. We should go give a hand, quick. Is that Lola Velez's?
Hey, Jones is free if you want it.
Oh my goodness, Will, it's the groom. It's Walter Frank Fairbanks. His plane crashed into the chapel. Well, he made it to his wedding, only dead. My love, help, someone killed my Walter. I know this is hard to hear, Lola, but this was an accident. An accident? Walter was the best pilot there is, and he's been practicing this stunt for weeks. Please, Major Will, you gotta believe me, this is a murder. Come on, Lola, for your sake, we promise to inspect this under every angle, and we'll talk to you shortly, but you shouldn't stay here. It isn't good for you. You agree with Lola, Will? You got a point. This is called criminal case. Of course there'll be a murder. We need to gather as many clues as possible. Maybe those broken plane parts you picked up will give us more information and... Really? You saw something drop into that cake stand? I didn't pay attention in the panic, but we should inspect it then. I was literally clicking on it. Well, you found a wedding ring. As the groom usually brings them to the ceremony, the shock was so violent it sent them flying into that cupcake stand. Oh Lola, the thing she just witnessed her fiance's death. You're right, it's high time we went to talk to the poor thing. Excellent work, Will. So the broken pieces you found were parts of the plane's tail before it crashed. And you're right, this plane tail is completely frozen to the touch, unlike the rest of the stunt plane. This isn't normal. If the stunt plane was sabotaged, we'll surely find clues of it at the victim's aircraft hangar. After all, that's where Walter also keeps his private jet. Our wedding, our beautiful wedding, it was meant to be the happiest day of my life, the moment I've been dreaming of since I was a little girl. The whole world came to witness our union, and instead they saw my dream of a happy future crash and burn. I just can't believe my love is dead. That stunt of his, he did it for me. Oh, why didn't I stop him? What have I done? Hey, what are you cops doing with my sister? She's just seen her husband die. Can't you see she's in shock? What do you care, Esteban? You never even liked Walter anyway, and you were only invited because I had no choice. So you hated your sister's fiancé, Esteban. Unlucky for you, but you just become our favorite suspect. Just for the record, Esteban, not only were you invited to the wedding out of family obligation, but you openly hated your sister's fiancé. Come on, yes, I hated Walter, so what? So Walter seemed like the perfect husband, smart, popular, and super rich. We have thought you'd be happy having someone like that in your family. Don't talk to me about family. If they had married, Walter would have made sure Lola never saw her family again. You see, Walter only loved Lola for what she had become, a super famous pop star, but he was ashamed of her past and her poor background. At least now that Walter's gone, maybe she will get back in touch with her family, her roots. You're right, well, it seems there was no love lost between Lola's brother and Walter. With Walter now out of the picture, we better keep an eye on Esteban. Wow, Walter's aircraft hangar is huge, and look, it's the private jet that was meant to take Lola and him on their honeymoon. Walter was definitely a rich man, but sadly all the money in the world couldn't bring him back. You're right, Will, we know this is from where his plane took off before the crash. Are you ready to search for clues? That's not work, Will. We should search through that crate you found. It could give us clues about the victim's plane's maintenance and explain why it crashed. And this looks like a map, but it's all smudged. Would you mind making it legible again? I know I would just end up smudging it even more. So what did you find among those tools, Will? A can of de-icing fluid. Is this some product made to melt ice? You're right, Will. The broken plane part you found at the crash site was frozen to touch, and here's a product that was meant to keep the stunt plane from freezing. Let's not waste any time and collect a sample. Excellent work, Will. You just recovered the flight plan which mapped our victim's itinerary from this hangar to his wedding ceremony. And hey, you over there, Greensboro PD, put down your tools and identify yourself. I'm Jan Goblin, chief mechanic for Walter Fairbanks Planes. That means you had access to Walter's plane before it crashed. Needless to say, Major Will had a few questions to ask you. Oh wow, they were right next to each other. Good job on collecting that sample from the de-icing fluid can, Will, but I'm not sure whether that's its normal color. Right, since the plane tail that fell off Walter's stunt plane was clearly frozen, we should send the sample to the lab. I can't believe Walter's stunt plane crashed. Such a terrible accident, on his wedding day, no less. Thing is, Jan, it wasn't an accident. Walter's plane was sabotaged. As his mechanic, you repaired his stunt plane, did you not? Me? Why, yes, sure. I even double-checked the stunt plane with Walter before liftoff. Everything was working fine. Until he crashed. You realize in what a dangerous situation you're in, Jan. But I don't know what to tell you. I didn't notice anything suspicious, and I didn't spot anybody in the hangar either. Everything was as it was meant to be. And I certainly didn't do it. I've been Walter's mechanic for years. To kill him would be to sabotage my career. I'll never find an employer who loves planes so much. I agree, Will. As the only suspect who had direct access to Walter's stunt plane, we're not going to let Jan off the hook anytime soon. Now about our victim's flight plan that we found in the hangar before Jan interrupted us. It clearly shows the itinerary Walter took for his aerobatics display. So he set off his aircraft hangar before passing over the West Bridge and ending up at the wedding ceremony. But to check everywhere ourselves would take hours. I can go, Major Will. I haven't helped you in an investigation in like forever, and if you ever piece of the plane fell elsewhere during the crash, you can be sure I'll find it. Wow, thanks for your enthusiasm, Ramirez. Well, here's the itinerary. Just remember to keep your eyes peeled. I analyzed a sample from that can of de-icing fluid you found in your victim's aircraft hangar, Will. Now, before I begin, let me tell you about this product. De-icing fluid prevents cloud water's droplets from turning into ice. Without the fluid, the pilot could lose control of the plane. But I studied the composition of this product you gave me, and it's clearly not de-icing fluid. What is it then? This fake product is in fact a mix of chemical products that actually froze the stunt plane quicker. Not only did it cause the plane tail to snap clean off, but the freezing cold must have affected the circuit board, causing a spark that made the stunt plane explode mid-air. With such a sabotage, Walter didn't stand a chance. You're facing a smart killer, Will. For them to have created such an ingenious product, they must really master chemistry. Well, Will, your victim clearly died during the plane crash. The impact was so strong that he flew through the window. Gee, you don't say. Walter Fairbanks was an excellent pilot. He even took part in last year's Air Force parade. In fact, he's never had a plane accident in his life. Someone like Walter would have never flown the stunt plane if he knew it wasn't safe, which means your killer sabotaged Walter's stunt plane at the last possible moment. Now, being something of an amateur pilot myself, I inspected the sabotaged plane, and even knowing something was wrong, I couldn't find out what. So although I can't tell you what the killer did to the stunt plane exactly, it was a beautiful piece of work. They really know their planes inside and out. Well, we do know. The fake de-icing fluid. Is that really all you can tell us, Nathan? Yes, but sometimes, Jones, is the single piece of evidence that can make all the difference in putting your killer behind bars. Later at the police station. I'm exhausted, Will. I was expecting a celebrity wedding party, not another criminal investigation. But seriously, who would expect this wedding to turn out this way? I bet the tabloids are all over this dramatic ceremony. Major Will, I'm glad you're still here. You're not going to believe this, but I think I just solved the case. Say what? You're not going to believe this, Major Will, but I think I just solved this case. I know what happened. But what? How? It's all thanks to a tabloid magazine I was reading. In it, there was a very interesting article about your victim. A magazine article? You gotta be kidding me. That's what Chi King said, and then you tore it up, but all the answers were in it. What about the victim's flight in the area we sent you on, Ramirez? Did you find anything? Apparently, some pieces of the plane fell into the river during the explosion. We laid them out near the bridge if you want to take a look. You still want to read that article, Will? Well, even if it's all torn out, that's never been a problem for you, but which lead do you want to start with? Wow, I can't believe you found the stunt plane's flight recorder. Well, I guess when the plane exploded high up in the sky, debris flew far and wide. We just hope the water didn't damage anything. Can you unlock it so we can check? I'm not so sure about that wet piece of paper you found, though. I can't even read what's written. I can't believe it, Will. You managed to fix Ramirez's magazine even though it was all torn up into 1,000 pieces. When Ramirez read this article, he thought he had solved the case. Well, let's see what it says. Fairbanks already looking for Lola's replacement. According to the magazine, Walter was seen with various young women only a few days after he announced his wedding. When Ramirez read this gossip, he obviously thought Lola must have killed Walter because of these rumors. It's just lucky you're not as quick to jump to conclusions, Will, but you're right. This still warrants another talk with Lola. Well done, Will. Let's see what Alice can make of this flight data. That document you found under the bridge is a restraining order. made to keep someone away from the victim. Not just anyone, it's Molly Mokrat. She's the victim's first wife. The tabloids went crazy over their divorce. I heard she never got over it. But she's also well known for being the creator of Moke Lab, a biochemical research company. Oh, and she's also famous for trying to ruin all of Walter's following weddings. That will explain the restraining order, and you're right. Given that our killer has knowledge in chemistry, this makes Molly a strong suspect. Let's go talk to this wedding crasher. Well, we know you must still be in shock, but we need to ask you a few questions about you and Walter. We know there were many rumors recently. I hate this part of the celebrity's life, all the press and the gossip with their stories of Walter cheating on me. At first I refused to believe the gossip, but then so many magazines kept publishing the same stories. I mean, I got a little paranoid. Who wouldn't be? So I cornered Walter in our honeymoon jet before the ceremony. We got into an argument. I even thought about canceling our wedding. But Walter reassured me. He was so sweet. He offered to stay with me instead of doing this surprise entrance. But I didn't want to spoil the party, so I left him to his planes. His dang planes. I should have stopped him. I never liked those flying death traps. Even when my brother learned to fly, I was scared. This is making me sick. If Walter really did cheat on Lola, she'd never admit it, and she wouldn't take that public humiliation lightly. You're right, Will. Lola mentioned having an argument with Walter inside their honeymoon jet. Let's go see what kind of fight it was on. What kind of fight it was. Miss Mokrat, Major Will found this restraining order filled by Walter Fairbanks. Maybe you could tell us what. That ghastly restraining order is her doing. That darn singer tried to keep me away from my husband. My dear Walter would have never done this to me. But the order was signed by Walter, Miss Mokrat. It's Mrs. Morcard. I may not be married on paper, but Walter will always be my husband, even if Lola did try to steal him away from me. I think that's how it works. He was way more cautious with his planes when we were married. He even taught me how to pilot them. Oh, Walter, I miss him so much. Do you think Molly could have staged the crash so Walter wouldn't marry any other woman, Will? I mean, did you hear how she still called him her husband? I know, she's crazy. Wow, seriously, Will, no wonder Lola didn't want to cancel her wedding. I married Walter myself just to fly in this jet. It's so comfortable and luxurious. But it's true, those mechanics gloves looks a little misplaced in here. I understand why you want to have a closer look at them. And you're right about that broken object. It may have been smashed during Lola and Walter's fight. Either way, you're the one who can fix it, Will. You're right, Will. This model you pieced back together is a reproduction of the plane Walter crashed in. And look, there's something written on the wings, but it's all smudged. Trying to show how good you are with powder, Will. This sample has no particular smell or color, Will, but Gray should be able to tell us what stained those gloves you found in Walter's jet. Good job, Will. This message is clear as day. You show me another world, one of splendor. Thank you. The one who gave this gift to Walter Fairbanks seemed close to him. But you're right. Fact remains is this is an exact replica of the stunt plane Walter crashed in. Maybe Alex can identify who wrote this message. Well, I analyzed the flight data from the victim's stunt plane after you retreated from the water, and it taught me a lot about his last few minutes. The flight data recorded all of the communications going in and out of the plane, and it seems Walter was busy arguing with someone right up until the plane started to fall. Do you think Walter was too busy arguing that he didn't even notice anything was wrong with the plane? Sadly, I couldn't make out who he was talking to because of the water damage, but I isolated the interlocutor's voice. Maybe you could compare it to your suspect's voice as well. Do you even have to ask? Will always aces everything. Good news, Will. Identifying who wrote the message on the small you found was a piece of cake. This writing was already in our database. The handwriting has changed a bit since the last time, but I can certify it's Adam Bentley who wrote that message to the victim. Adam Bentley, that young socialite who imitated Jerry Bigwell's handwriting. It looks like his penmanship has gotten him caught up in a murder investigation once again. After having gotten close to Jerry Bigwell, it appears Adam managed to befriend Walter Fairbanks too. He sure does get around. Come on, Will, let's go talk to him. Well, this liquid sample you retrieved from those gloves in the private jet was quite the enigma. First of all, I noticed the sample contained molecules of fake de-icing fluid, the same fluid that was used on the victim's plane. So it's our killer who wore those gloves. I guess they have hid at some point inside the private jet and forgotten them there. Now, the liquid sample that stained your killer's gloves also contained traces of hydrogen peroxide components. To put it simply, it's a contact lens solution. I'm guessing your killer had a problem with their contact lenses while sabotaging the plane, and they must have rubbed their eyes. Thank you, Grace. So our killer wears contact lenses. Well, I certainly didn't see that one coming, Will. Jail. Unbelievable, Will. You took this voice print from the flight data and correctly guessed that the voice belonged to Jan. So Walter was arguing with his mechanic when something went wrong with his stunt plane. But what were they fighting about? You're right, Will. The only way to know is to question him. Major Will, I didn't know you'd been invited to Walter and Lola's wedding. I wish we didn't meet in such tragic circumstances. Cut the pleasantries, Adam. Care to explain why every powerful man you get close to ends up dead? Major Will has found the plane model you gifted to Walter Fairbanks. Ah, you found my gift. I had it made especially for him to thank you for everything he's done for me. Really? So you were friends? Of course we were. He introduced me to his friends and taught me everything about planes. It turns out I was a great pilot. And thanks to my knowledge in chemical products, I aced the plane maintenance aspect too. You really expect us to believe you never once wanted to take over Walter's life? You know, get close to him, act like him, and then get rid of him? Goodness, now you could say I was his protege. I would never do something like this. We were very close, and his death affects me greatly. I can't shake this weird feeling I have every time I talk to Adam. I don't buy his stories. Do you, Will? Jan, Major Will found the flight recorder from Walter's plane. Would you care to explain why you were fighting with him before the crash? Walter was accused of me of having badly prepared the stunt plane, but it's unfair. I designed all the maintenance products myself, and there's never been a problem till now. Had Walter lost confidence in your skills recently? It's Walter who had changed, not me. It's as if his interest in planes slowly turned into an interest in women. He started collecting marriages instead of planes. Until the planes become a tool just to seduce women. When I confronted him about it during his flight, he threatened to fire me. I panicked and cut off all communications, and now I hate myself for it. I agree, Will. Jan made a pretty good case for himself, but as our victim's mechanic and a fellow pilot, he's not dropping off our radar anytime soon. Sometime later. Darn, Will, this investigation is exhausting. I thought life in Maple Heights was meant to be easygoing. Major Will, oh, I'm so glad I found you. Please, I need your help. Well, what's going on, Jan? What are you doing here? It's about Molly. Molly Mocard. She's about to kill herself. What? And guys, that will be the end of chapter 1 and 2. Chapter 2 was very, very lengthy. Jeez. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I love you all. Get out.